What if I told you that one of the most powerful compounds ever used in medicine has been sitting in your spice cabinet this entire time, and the people who actually know, the dentists who mix it into their fillings, the traditional healers across Indonesia who have relied on it for centuries, the National Institutes of Health who measured it and ranked it number 1 on their antioxidant scale, none of them are surprised that a single dried flower bud from a volcanic island in the Pacific can do what a shelf full of synthetic products cannot. And the only reason you have never heard this is because nobody makes real money when the remedy costs pennies and grows on a tree. Here's what most people miss. This is not just about toothaches. That is where the story starts, but it is not where it ends. When you place a single clove under your tongue for 5 minutes, something happens that most oral remedies never achieve. And by the time we reach number 2 on this list, you are going to understand exactly why traditional Indonesian medicine has treated this spice like liquid gold for over 2,000 years. And when we get to number 1, the benefit that shocked even the researchers who designed the study, you will never look at that little brown bud the same way again. Hit that subscribe button because every week we post videos that pull back the curtain on the natural remedies and hidden knowledge the mainstream would rather keep buried so you can make informed decisions for yourself. Here are 5 surprising benefits of putting a clove under your tongue for just 5 minutes, ranked from impressive to absolutely extraordinary. Number 5, blood sugar regulation. Here is what nobody tells you about blood sugar. You can eat clean, exercise, do everything right, and still watch your glucose spike after a meal because nobody taught you what to do in those critical minutes after you eat. Clove has been addressing this for longer than modern glucose monitors have existed. The research backs this up. A study published in BMC Complementary and Alternative Medicine took 13 adults, some with normal fasting glucose, some with pre-diabetic levels, and gave them 250 milligrams of polyphenol-rich clove extract daily after meals for 30 days. The pre-diabetic group saw glucose levels drop 27% lower than baseline. The healthy group dropped 21%, starting on day 12 and holding steady through day 30. That is not a rounding error. That is your body responding. The active compound eugenol, along with nigericin found in clove, works on insulin sensitivity itself, decreasing the resistance that free fatty acids create in your cells. A spice that does not just manage sugar, but actually helps your body use its own insulin more efficiently. Here is how to actually use it. Place a whole clove under your tongue 5 minutes after a meal. The sublingual tissue under your tongue is packed with capillaries that send eugenol directly into your bloodstream, bypassing your digestive system entirely. No pill, no capsule, no waiting 30 to 60 minutes for something to dissolve in your stomach. Why does this get overlooked? Because the glucose management industry would rather sell you test strips and supplements than tell you about a flower bud that costs almost nothing. And that clove you probably have in your kitchen cabinet right now, it is just getting started. Number 4, digestive support. Most people reach for antacids after a heavy meal. They chew chalky tablets, swallow capsules, wait, and they never ask why their digestion struggled in the first place. Clove answers that question before you even finish eating. The slightly bitter taste of clove activates receptors on your tongue that trigger salivary and gastric enzyme secretion, priming your entire digestive system to break down food more efficiently. The science confirms it. Eugenol, which makes up 70 to 90% of clove oil, carries antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial properties that reduce stomach cramps, relax intestinal muscles, and support gut motility. This is not gentle encouragement. This is your digestive system being told to wake up and do its job. Chewing 1 to 2 cloves after meals stimulates the production of digestive enzymes, preventing the accumulation of acids that cause bloating and indigestion. The tradition of using cloves for digestive comfort stretches back through centuries of Indonesian jamu medicine, where cloves were specifically valued for soothing digestive discomfort and calming the gut. Here is how to actually use it. Place a clove under your tongue or gently press it between your teeth after eating. As saliva breaks down the bud, eugenol releases directly into your oral tissue and begins its work within 5 to 10 minutes. The sublingual route means your body absorbs the active compounds before your stomach acid ever touches them, giving you higher bioavailability than swallowing a supplement whole. Why this one gets ignored is simple. Antacid companies have spent decades convincing you that digestion problems require their product. Meanwhile, the remedy has been sitting in your spice rack, probably right next to the cinnamon, doing nothing because nobody told you to use it. If you are starting to see the pattern, if you are realizing that the most powerful remedies are not hidden behind a pharmacy counter, but buried in plain sight in your own kitchen, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps this reach people who are actually paying attention and want real answers. And if you have not subscribed yet, you belong here with us. Number 3, antibacterial action and fresher breath. Here is a fact that will sit with you. In the Chinese Han Dynasty, around the 3rd century BCE, court officers were required to hold cloves in their mouths when addressing the emperor. Not mints, not herbs, cloves, because even 2,300 years ago, the people who actually knew understood that this bud does not just mask odor, it eliminates the bacteria that cause it. The research backs this up. Eugenol has demonstrated antibacterial properties against Staphylococcus aureus, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and Escherichia coli. Being a hydrophobic molecule, eugenol penetrates the lipopolysaccharide cell membrane of harmful bacteria and causes structural alterations, leading to leakage of intracellular components. In plain language, it punches holes in bacteria and lets them drain. More specifically for your mouth, eugenol works against Streptococcus mutans, one of the primary bacteria responsible for tooth decay. It controls plaque, reduces the risk of gum disease, and neutralizes the sulfur compounds that give you bad breath after garlic or onions. Chewing a clove after a heavy lunch is an old trick that works better than mints, because mints cover the smell while clove kills the source. Every pro in traditional medicine knows it. Here is how to actually use it. Tuck a single clove under your tongue and let it soften for 5 minutes. The eugenol releases into your saliva, coats your gum tissue, and goes to work on every surface it touches. Why does everyone reach for plastic-wrapped breath strips instead? Because a 3,000-year-old remedy from the Spice Islands does not come with a marketing budget, but it is probably sitting in your pantry right now, and it outperforms everything in the checkout aisle. Number 2, pain relief and natural numbing. This is the benefit that built Clove's entire reputation, and it is still the one the dental world relies on to this day. Eugenol is a natural anesthetic. It numbs nerves, it reduces inflammation, and it fights the bacteria that cause infection all at the same time. Dentists have been using it since the 1800s. They mix clove oil with zinc oxide to create temporary fillings that calm sensitive tooth nerves in patients waiting for cavity treatment. A clinical trial of 73 adults found that clove oil performed as effectively as benzocaine, the standard topical anesthetic used across dentistry. The numbers don't lie. That is not folk wisdom holding on by nostalgia. That is peer-reviewed, clinically tested performance matching a pharmaceutical product. The reason sublingual placement matters here is critical. The mucous membrane under your tongue is one of the thinnest, most capillary-rich tissues in your body. When eugenol dissolves there, it enters your bloodstream in 5 to 10 minutes, instead of the 30 to 60 it would take swallowed through your digestive system. Faster onset, higher bioavailability, more of the compound actually reaching where it needs to go. Here is how to actually use it. For tooth or gum discomfort, place a whole clove directly against the affected area or under your tongue and let it soften. The numbing sensation begins within minutes. If you are dealing with persistent or severe pain, Use this for temporary relief and see a dentist for the underlying cause. Why does this get overlooked? Because eugenol costs almost nothing, and the pain relief aisle at your local store is a billion-dollar industry. The compound that dentists themselves use is not behind the counter. It is probably in your kitchen drawer right now, waiting for you to remember what it does. Number 1. Antioxidant power. This is the one. The benefit the supplement industry does not want you to understand. The ORAC scale, the Oxygen Radical Absorbance Capacity Measurement, developed by the National Institutes of Health and refined at the USDA Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging at Tufts University, provides the most comprehensive method for measuring antioxidant capacity in any food, herb, or spice on Earth. And ground cloves sit at the very top with an ORAC value of 314,446. Let that land. Blueberries, the fruit everyone calls an antioxidant superfood, come in around 9,000. Dark chocolate reaches roughly 80,000. Acai berries hit 161,000. Cloves crush all of them. They deliver more than 34 times the antioxidant power of blueberries, gram for gram. 1 teaspoon of ground clove contains more antioxidants than half a cup of pomegranate juice. The testing backs this up. Chemical analysis shows eugenol, the primary antioxidant compound in clove, comprises 45 to 90% of clove essential oil. At concentrations of 25 micrograms per milliliter, eugenol neutralized roughly 80% of free radicals in DPPH radical scavenging assays. Those free radicals are what accelerate cellular aging, drive inflammation, and contribute to chronic disease. The World Health Organization has classified eugenol as a generally accepted safe chemical substance. Here is how to actually use it. Place 1 whole clove under your tongue for 5 minutes. The sublingual tissue delivers eugenol directly into your bloodstream with higher bioavailability than swallowing it. You can do this once or twice daily. Why does this get buried? Because the antioxidant supplement market sells bottles of extracted compounds for $40, $50, $60, when the single most powerful antioxidant food ever measured has been sitting in a glass jar in your spice cabinet, costing you pennies per serving, waiting for someone to finally tell you the truth. If you made it all the way to the end, you have just learned something most people never will. 5 benefits backed by centuries of traditional use and confirmed by modern research, all from a single dried flower bud that fits under your tongue. Smash that like button if this changed how you think about what is already in your kitchen. Drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you most. Team antioxidant power, team pain relief, team blood sugar. I read every comment. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. I would love to have you on this journey with us. Remember, the best remedy is not always on a pharmacy shelf or behind a doctor's prescription pad. Sometimes it is in a glass jar in your spice cabinet, waiting for you to place it under your tongue and let it do what it has been doing for over 2,000 years.